The North London derby is only a few days away, but who needs the win more? Arsenal or Tottenham? Both teams have got some injury concerns. Van der Ven and Solanke have not featured in any training images yet, and Bissouma picked up an injury a couple of days ago on an international break, but did score. And the breaking news coming out in the last 48 hours is Martin Odegaard could be out for up to a month. So how will Arsenal set out their midfield? No Declan Rice, no Mikel Merino. Both teams have not had, in terms of their fans' perspective, the best of best starts. Tottenham have lost one, drawn one, and won a game. And Arsenal have won two and drawn one, but Arsenal probably on the balance of play should have beaten Brighton. But look, we are going to jump straight into it. If you're new to the channel, please do go down, hit that subscribe button. And if you're enjoying the content, please do go down, drop a like on the video. It does absolute wonders. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts. So when we look at this game coming up, it's Sunday, it's 2 p.m, it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And in the last 2 years, Arsenal have broke the duct and managed to beat us at our own ground. Tottenham haven't had the best of starts to the Premier League. In my humble opinion, we have been the better of the team in all the 3 games we have played against Leicester, against Newcastle, and obviously destroying Everton. But for whatever reason, we can't finish our chances. The Leicester game, we had over 20 shots. The Newcastle game, we had over 15 shots. And Everton, we just blew to smithereens. We have scored in every single game, but we've only got 1 clean sheet in 3. North London derby, 2 p.m. at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday. And then we will go to Coventry in the EFL Cup 3rd round. And then we play Brentford, Qarabag, Manchester United, Fenerbahce, and Brighton. This, from a Tottenham perspective, this Arsenal game is absolutely everything. The Tottenham fan base is so divided on Ange, on the tactics, on the high line, on the wide players. If we lose to Arsenal, I think a lot of the Tottenham fan base would not have huge confidence in going up against Coventry in the League Cup away, especially when they did very well in the domestic competitions last year. They got all the way to the FA Cup semi-final, and a lot of people thought they were robbed against Man United. Brentford at the moment are firing on all cylinders. Buemo looks really, really, really good, as well as Wisa. They will cause Tottenham problems on the counter-attack. And then before you know it, our next Premier League game is Manchester United. And in between that, we've got Qarabag at home in the Europa League. Look at the dates on these fixtures. There's only 3 or 4 days between each fixture. North London derby, 3 days later, play Coventry. 3 days later, play Brentford. 5 days later, play Qarabag. 3 days later, play Manchester United. This Arsenal game for Tottenham is absolutely everything. If we do not get the victory, or at least a very good performance, we then go into that Coventry game. And I'll be honest, I do not feel confident going in against Brentford or Coventry coming off the back of 2, of back-to-back defeats. When you look at it from an Arsenal perspective, their fan base at the moment, I think the reaction on the fan base on the socials, I think, is a little bit over the top. They are still unbeaten. Of course, Martin Odegaard is out injured. However, you do have people that can play in that position. You do have Kai Havertz that can fill in there, maybe Leandro Trossard, or do you give Nwaneri the call up? He had an absolute lovely strike against Germany's under-21s, took on a couple of players, and the save was even better. But this game for Arsenal is equally just as big, because if they do not beat us, aka Tottenham, that would be 2 games without a win, and their next Premier League game is away to Manchester City. Now, dare I say it, if they lose against Tottenham and against Manchester City, and City beat Brentford on Saturday, there would already be an 8-point gap between Arsenal and Manchester City. So the next 3 games are absolutely huge for Arsenal. Tottenham away, Atalanta away, and Manchester City away, with no Martin Odegaard. Now, AFC Stuff tweeted out earlier today that Martin Odegaard, the likelihood is he will be out for up to a month. And some of the games he will miss is absolutely huge from an Arsenal perspective. You're missing PSG at home, Atalanta, Manchester City, Tottenham away, Leicester at home, Southampton at home, and Bolton in the cup. Now, I'll be honest. I think they can beat Southampton, Leicester, Bolton comfortably without Odegaard. Rice will be back for the Atalanta game. Mikel Merino won't play any of these games either. Now, there is a bit of a midfield crisis online from the Arsenal fan base with regards to the Tottenham game. I think they maybe could put in Zinchenko alongside Partey or play Partey alongside Jorginho, and one of Havertz will go in that attacking position. And I think the best setup to play Tottenham would be with that pace, because we are vulnerable on the counter-attack. You put Raheem Sterling, you put Bukayo Saka, you put Leandro Trossard, Gabriel Martinelli. There's a lot of pace in that front line. For Tottenham, I'll be brutally honest. If we lose this game, it wouldn't surprise me if Ange out was trending. Our fan base at the moment is very reactionary. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but there is a lot of data that is not going alongside going for Ange Postecoglou. We have not won against the top 6 in our last 7 games. We've kept 4 clean sheets in our last 33 games. The last time we beat a team in the top 10 was back in March or February. We played Aston Villa. It's not the going in terms of the number side of things. It's not exactly our going to plan for Ange Postecoglou. Now, Arsenal have a very good away record. They went to Manchester United and won. They went to Stamford Bridge and got a draw. They beat Tottenham last year. They drew with Manchester City. They drew with Liverpool. I actually think Arsenal perform better on the road than they do at the Emirates. They've already beaten Aston Villa away from home 2-0. Now, without Martin Odegaard, the big question is going to be who is going to create and play that killer pass, that defense-splitting pass. Who is going to do that? Is it going to be Kai Havertz? And for Tottenham, without Bissouma, who's going to play in the middle of the park? If it's no Bissouma, I personally would go Bentancur, Sarr, and James Maddison. If Dominic Solanke and Van der Ven is fit, that's an absolute game changer for us. But I am actually relatively confident that Tottenham, dare I say it, will get 3 points. I think we have to. And it's not necessarily because I don't think we're a better team than Arsenal by any stretch of the imagination. We are by far not a better team. Arsenal are a lot stronger defensively. Arsenal, in my opinion, are at present a very well-organised side. And, you know, they've kind of done what Arteta's plan was, which was make them hard to beat and make their defence very, very strong. And that's something that Tottenham need to do. We need to make our team hard to beat. We need to drop that defensive line, in my opinion, by 5 to 10 yards. And then, you know, actually start taking our chances, because the amount of chances that we at present just aren't, you know, taking with both hands and grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. If you look at our numbers against Newcastle, it's a similar thing. It's been like this for a few months now under Ange Postecoglou. Dominate possession, dominate shots on target, dominate practically every single metric other than the scoreline. 66% possession, nearly double the passes, more than double the shots on target. But it's the same story. We are not taking our chances. And this Arsenal defence is very, very, very strong and has only conceded 1 goal in the 3 games. However, with no Declan Rice, no Odegaard, no Mikel Merino, no Ricardo Calafiori, I actually somewhat, for some deluded reason, think Tottenham can actually get something from this game. Look at the stats against Leicester. 15 shots to 7. More than double the shots on target. 71% possession. More than double the passes. Higher pass accuracy. Let's look at the set pieces. 13 corners to 2. We dominate every single stat, but now we have to take advantage. It's a huge, huge game. And if we don't get the right result, like I said, I fear for Ange Postecoglou at present, because I think the Tottenham fan base is very, very, very reactionary online. You know, Arsenal dug in against Brighton. They played for 40 odd minutes with with 9 outfield players, 10 men. You know, David Raya is a top goalkeeper and kept him in that game for as long as he could. And Arsenal, even with 10 men, did have chances, you know, but it's down to us now. We need to take advantage of these Arsenal injuries, and we need to take advantage of an Arsenal team at present who are somewhat vulnerable in midfield. There is ways on how they can fix this injury crisis. I did put out a video on the channel yesterday. Make sure you go and check that out, because I do personally believe it's not all doom and gloom for Arsenal. I still think they're going to have a very good season, but these next 3 games, you want to get off in the Champions League to a winning start. You have to go into the North London derby, you know, we're highly confident. You have to get the right result from an Arsenal perspective, and then they go to Manchester City. And City at the moment are firing on all cylinders. And unfortunately, from an Arsenal perspective, Manchester City play the Champions League on Wednesday night as well, and they are playing at home to Inter Milan. So there is no travel involved. And when you look at Manchester City's next 5 Premier League 5 games, they've got Watford in the Cup. You would expect Manchester City to absolutely blitz them. They've got Brentford at home. You'd expect Man City to blitz them as well, even though they're a good side. Newcastle United away. I feel Newcastle aren't they're good on the counter, but I think City will toy with them. And then Inter Milan and Arsenal are the huge test. Inter Milan are at the moment very, very, very good in Italy, but you know, that's the Champions League final of a couple of years back. Do they have what it takes Inter to go toe-to-toe with Man City? I'm not so sure. And then that game against Arsenal. So in terms of the question, who is it bigger for Arsenal or Tottenham? At the moment, from a title race perspective, obviously Arsenal need to get back to winning ways. But from Tottenham's manager perspective, we also need to win the game. Back-to-back defeats is not going to go well for Ange Postecoglou. At present, I'm going to sit on the fence. I don't know who the game's bigger for. Probably just in Arsenal's perspective, purely because we're not in a title race, and there is plenty of other games where we can, you know, go back and really try and have a top 4 push. Whereas in an Arsenal perspective, every single point matters in terms of Manchester City are just a different breed of football club. And when they get on a winning run of winning games, they are incredibly tough to stop. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you have dropped a like. Make sure you have subscribed. The road to 25,000 subscribers is well and truly on. Premier League predictions will be out on Friday. There'll be a couple of streams on the main channel today, so make sure you get over and support. I will see you all in the next one. Let me know your thoughts down below. The North London derby. Is this the biggest North London derby in many years? In my opinion, probably yes. I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.